And now for the Rudebuoyz rant.
Rudebuoyz, we back on the scene and ting again with another episode. This is a Dirty Immigrant.
This is Scotland.
Yes, and I almost said the radio show beginning there, but you know what I mean. This is the podcast, the Rudebuoyz rant.
Yes.
You know what I mean. Check us out on iTunes and other platforms and all of that. Go ahead and download and comment and rank and all of that stuff. Now today's episode we're gonna be talking about.
Hang on, before we get into anything, I just want to go ahead and apologize if there's any sniffling and stuff. My allergies have really beaten me down right now. And, you know what? Spring with its allergies is kind of like having that person in your life that no matter how much you love them, they continue to treat you like crap. That's so I just want to go ahead and apologize, any sniffling and stuff like that, because
allergies is
springtime has decided to knock me down like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So
allergies is like being in the friend zone.
Man. But I love you, Spring. I love
mean?
you.
You know what I mean?
Why do you treat me like this? I love you, Spring.
I don't care. I'm gonna just come here for a little bit, and I'm gonna walk away, and I'm gonna treat you like crap, and then I'm gonna walk away and find me another person to terrorize.
And then I'm gonna come back when everything's looking beautiful again, and then I'm gonna terroririse you again.
You know what I mean?
Just when you're going, this is so nice.
I
can't breathe.
You know what I mean? And take it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I just wanted to apologize. Any sniffling and stuff like that. It's allergy season. I'm sorry.
I had it for a day or two.
Man,
I was out for a minute there.
I periodically I'm lucky that it only lasts a day when it's this bad.
Yeah.
But I'll have a day where I will sneeze, and I'm not making this up here. I will sneeze over 50 times, because there was one time last spring I kept track. The calculator on my phone, I kept track. Every time I sneezed, I got up over 80 before the day was over. And I mean, I am wiped out. I'm feeling like I just ran, a marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, I am just dying. I mean, it is just pure misery.
Boy.
So anyway, yeah. Okay, anyway, into your topic. I'm sorry, I just want to get that out of the way.
I know. Hey, you know what I mean? This is a rant.
Hey, for anybody else who's dealing with springtime stuff right now, you all know what we're talking about.
Yes,
so,
sir. But what we're talking about today is the comments on posts, how people are politicizing everything. It doesn't matter what the post is about. Trump, Obama, Hillary, or some politician must come up on it. And I've noticed that even on sites that are not from this culture here, even sites like a Chinese newspaper or an Arabic newspaper, they say something that have nothing to do with any kind of political thing, and bam, everybody's up there politicizing. Also, that leads into violence, what I mean?
Yes.
Violent comments. So we're going to discuss that here, a little. Well, we're going to discuss it, and you draw your own opinion and things. But before we go into that, this is something that I read here while I was waiting for him to come in here.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe is about to adopt the yen. It begins. And of course it begins in the third world.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe owes $40 million to the Chinese. And now, to repay, to cancel that $40 million debt, they're going to adopt the Chinese yen.
Oh, man.
That's kind of a scary thought.
It is,
there.
yeah.
Well, we're living in a time when it seems like there's going to be a shift in superpowers. It seems. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it seems like...
Well, the way everybody in this country is so angry at each other.
Yeah. It looks like there's going to be a shift. But here's the funny part of it. The Zimbabwean president, I do believe... no, not the president. The finance minister. His name is Patrick Chinamasa. China Massa. China Massa, I shall take your yen now, sir.
Yeah, and he's the financial minister.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder what kind of kickback he's getting. You know what I mean? But, that's something we're probably going to explore.
A certain amount of yen, maybe.
Yeah. That's something we're probably going to explore. I want to explore that because the Chinese are not just in Africa and Southeast Asia doing their thing. They're in the Caribbean. Now you see them going down to Venezuela and all that stuff. We also probably going to have a show about the Venezuelan thing, because the reason why I want to do one is because it's going to directly affect my little island. Because now Venezuelan gangsters are starting to filter up. Now they're in Trinidad. 4 of them got shot and killed in Trinidad. That's the island right next to me. There's Grenada, there's Trinidad, there's Tobago, there's Venezuela.
Yeah.
Right down the line. Now, they may not come to my little island because we have nothing, but Trinidad's got oil. You know what I mean? And for some reason, Trinidad is having like a lot of immigration going on. Even Cubans, they have Cubans going down there now.
Okay.
And that's a long way coming here. But anyway, that's something where we're going to discuss probably in the future and all that. But right now,
another one I want to do too is just talking about, obviously the whole fake news, that sort of stuff, because I mean it is scary. It is absolutely scary.
You know what I mean? And
you have news channels basically making up their own stuff. They're basically showing we have an agenda and we don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's on both sides.
Yes. We'll lie to get both. We'll lie to show whatever it is, and that is absolutely a scary thing. And I use the term news channels loosely, because they are not.
They are machines.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So anyway,
but so what I did here is I wrote down the headlines of the post and the first comment that comes up.
All right.
Okay, so this one said, "Why does the world love Paris? Gay Paris? You know what I mean? Why does the world love it?" And here's a comment. If Hillary had won, I'm sure you'd been all right with the same-sex system.
What does that have to do with why do people love Paris?
That's the first comment.
Seriously, what does that have to do with why people love Paris?
These things.
Hillary, what?
I saw that.
Somebody help me here. I have no idea what that has to do with why do people love Paris.
Yeah. And Hillary is not president. She's not in politics anymore. Why is she? You see, that's the thing, man. They're making people who aren't relevant anymore relevant.
Yeah.
Either to make a point or to spread hate or something like that. And hey, this is not just conservatives doing that.
You know what I mean? Absolutely not. Yeah.
And check this out. Later in that same post. Not much later, this one come up. Ilhan Omar pointed out some people did something. Most people
Can you read your own writing?
Call it an attack by extremist Muslims.
The fire at the cathedral? Is that what this is about? Or
no, this is still why do people love Paris?
But that's what I mean. No, is that why somebody was asking? Did it have to do with the fire at the Notre? No. Man.
No. And so I've noticed that in many a post. I know I have scribbles.
You really do, man. That's what I had to look at.
After I got off work last night at 12, that's when I wrote it. I was tired, yawning.
Oh yeah, those tired eyes lead to sloppy hands, man. I'm telling you, I've had it too. Because whenever I go back sometimes and I look through my notebook from all the games this year, especially when it's been cold or I've been tired, I'll look back at things that I wrote down and go, "Oh, that looks awful."
Yeah. Hey, check this out though. What do you think is causing this to happen?
Well, for one, and this will come from, this can kind of lead into, and what I said I wanted to get into at another time is. People are taking what is said on these, quote, news channels for gospel. They're taking it for absolute gospel. So if you watch the, quote, liberal ones, headline news, CNN, MSNBC, that sort of stuff, if they are going to rip the Republicans to shred, no matter what it is that they're saying, you're going to believe every word of it.
Yeah.
And then if you watch Fox News, which is the conservative side, while they're ripping the liberals, you're going to believe every word of it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where a lot of this comes from, because people, they watch these things, they believe everything that these talking heads tell them, and so when they see somebody make a post about that, well, I just can't sit back anymore because well, the talking heads are making millions of dollars doing this, giving out their opinion, so I'm going to give out mine.
Yeah.
And my opinion is actually, well, their opinion, because I've been listening to it for however long I've been watching this channel.
And these are the comment sections, you know what I mean? And the point about it is, for me, is nobody really cares what they say, which causes no dialogue. Which causes no resolution of anything.
Well, and you see it on even the sports side, because we have shows, talking head shows again, where all they do is sit and scream at each other. I had Golick and Wingo on the other morning, and unfortunately during their commercial breaks before coming back to the show, they like to show clips from their other shows, and I am so sick of it because they love to keep bringing up clips from First Take, which is Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman yelling at each other. Well, this time it was Stephen A. Smith and Bomani Jones yelling at each other over something that they have absolutely no control over and you will never see. They were trying to argue about, well, if Jordan hadn't really retired, if he had stayed in, would the Rockets would have won? Or would the Knicks were so good at that time, would they have finally beaten Jordan? And they are screaming at each other over something that didn't happen.
And
can't happen. Can't happen. We can't go back. We can't rewind time and say, hey, Jordan, don't you dare retire. We want to see what would have happened here. Play it out. We will never see it, but yet they were screaming at each other. Stephen A. Smith, his voice raised several octaves, and then suddenly Bomani Jones goes, oh, you want to bring out that argument. And then he starts screaming. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So whether it's political side, sports side, whatever it is, we keep constantly seeing these people yell and scream at each other. Quote, professionals who are getting paid oodles of dollars to scream at each other. This is what we do.
Oh, yeah.
This is
now
this,
we, the
yes,
people,
exactly. This is what we do. Yes.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter.
I know people have been screaming at each other over politics and sports for forever, but now because of social media and comment sections on news stories and things like that, it makes it so much easier. And now also, since we get to sit and watch people do it all the time, it just continues. It doesn't get better.
You know what I mean? And nobody stays on topic. So, okay, here's a perfect one. Couple rescued from Australia outback after riding help in the mud. First comment, I see not reporting on somewhere in Arizona. Yukon, Arizona, declaring a state of emergency over illegal immigrant flooding.
What?
No.
This is supposed to be a good story. Somebody got rescued.
Yeah.
Because somebody saw that they rode help in the mud.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. People can't seem to let a good story go.
Good. Yeah.
They have to find some way to poop on it.
Yeah, sometimes when I repost a good story, I have to write, ignore the comments.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you go to the comments, man, and it's got nothing to do with the story, and everybody's just yelling some kind of political stuff, well, Obama did this, and Trump did this. And I'm getting... Listen, I'm not saying I'm for or I'm against the guy. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so sick of every time somebody puts something down, there's a liberal on there going, well, Trump. Okay.
Well, the same thing obviously happened when Obama was president. Every time somebody had to write something, the Republicans, the conservatives had to say, well, Obama,
Here's a perfect example. A 71-year-old man has been arrested on 100 counts of rape.
Oh, my God.
I'm surprised he's not wearing a MAGA hat.
Gosh.
That's the first comment.
They think only Trump fans are racist? Or not racist.
Rapists. I'm racist.
I was going to say, a little Freudian slip there, I guess.
You know what I'm saying, the thing? Yeah.
Oh
right after that, they forget the victims. 100 victims.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Surprise it. Whoa.
You see, I know that kind of leads into another thing too that I've noticed.
That is dangerous thinking right there. Yeah, because then that might lead somebody to, if they see somebody walking by with a MAGA hat, to go, that's a rapist, and may possibly try and attack them.
Which leads right into the whole thing of what happened here a few weeks ago with the guy from Egypt.
Yes,
Egyptian guy. Arabic/African guy, and she screamed, "He grabbed my daughter's hair and tried to..." The same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they could yell that, a conservative could be, or a so-called conservative,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to blanket all of them doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, a so-called conservative could yell that and get that person in trouble, which happened here. Or somebody could say he's got a MAGA hat, he must be a pedophile, this or that, and get somebody in trouble.
Yeah.
When you know what I mean, and everybody both sides are doing this stuff.
And they don't recognize it.
You know what I mean? You're so much alike.
Yes.
You don't even see it.
You all are so much closer to each other than you realize.
You know what I
or
mean?
than you want to realize.
Especially in the bad stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Especially in the bad stuff. And you know, we could sit here and say this and all and talk about it, and people. I could imagine people listening to this podcast. Oh, those damn liberals, and then we say something. Oh my God, they must be conservative.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the point we try to make is y'all are alike.
Mm-hmm.
Switch it around and be alike for the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting out
I
there in the
know,
hallway. That was
yeah.
a big yawn followed by a cuss word. Jeez, somebody's tired out there.
I hope it didn't get through.
So much for Soundproof Studios.
But yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't. But you know, everybody's okay. This also lead into the violent part of stuff.
Yes.
I was reading a post, and some dude. And I don't even bother to read the names and stuff anymore, man. Because, but anyway, this guy, I guess he had mental issues.
Okay.
And he keep attacking people at this mall. And good Lord, I can't remember where it happened. But finally, he walked up to these people. They had a 5-year-old kid, and he grabbed the kid and threw the kid over 2 stories and killed him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And, oh my God. I mean, of course, they turned that into something political because it was a person of color that did it. So it turned into a political thing. And you know what? I just lost my train of thought of where I was going with this. So one of the good people's comment is, throw that kid on the concrete. I'll take care of him. I'll just tie him behind my truck and drag him along so he could taste the concrete. And that is supposed to be a good remark.
Whoa.
That is supposed to be a good comment. Now we're going from making it political to always making it a violent response.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
And you thinking, I'm being a good human being. And some of them, not all of them, some of them, I'm being a good Christian. Forgetting the thou shalt not kill part.
Well, I think they just keep remembering the eye for an eye instead.
That's not one of the commandments.
I know that. Yeah,
I know. I'm just making
they
that
probably
point.
they probably want to make that as like one of the amendments to the Constitution. We should have an amendment to the
Ten
Commandments. You know, thou shalt not kill unless this, unless this, unless this, unless this, unless this.
I've noticed too that comments like that has become the good guy comment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but I was watching this video. And, there's a couple of them. There's one where some kids in Florida, and of course, too, is different colors. The black guys were the thugs, and I put a quotation mark up, and then these white kids were down there on spring break in Florida. I don't know if it was Miami or something. And then the thuggish guy pulled a gun on these 4 white kids, nerdy white kids. The nerdy white kids beat his tail and took the gun.
All right.
Every time he come, they point the gun, and now they acting gangster too, you know what I mean? Because they have the gun, what up, you know, and all of that. So here's the deal: he got the gun, the thugs got into the car and took off. The comment was like, "I would have opened up on them, I would have killed them."
And then you're spending the rest of your life in prison.
Exactly, because if they leave in and you kill them, that's intentional murder.
Yeah.
Break it down to my own experience of like seeing here, and this kind of ties into it too. I was talking to this dude at work the other night, okay, and I've known him for a long time, and he was telling me about people stealing some stuff out of his truck,
okay,
you know, and he was complaining and all of that, and then he said, "Man, you just wait till I get them." Lifts his shirt up, taps a gun.
Oh boy.
And said, "I'll kill him." That's the kind of crap we see on comments here all the time. And now everybody's got guns.
Well, I got a little story with that one. Okay, a certain person that used to live downstairs from me who smoked a certain herb like it was about to be taken away from them.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'm so sick and tired of living in a place where I have to deal with smells that aren't my own, you know, in my apartment. So my apartment reeked constantly. And so I'm sitting at work one day and talking to a certain coworker who no longer works here. But I said, you know, this is a time where I wish I had, you know, Jedi powers or whatever. Because when I start to smell that, I would just make like the door open all by itself, you know, cabinets open and closing, the windows going up and down. I would basically make the guy think, especially if he's on the weed and he might be paranoid, I would make him think this place is haunted. I can't live here anymore. He looks at me and goes, dude, why don't you just kill him? I said, whoa. No.
Knowing him, he'd go, Trump. What's Trump doing? He's opening my doors and slamming my drawers. Or he might go Hillary. She's haunting me.
But I mean that goes right to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about, you know, making the guy think the place is haunted and wanting to move out. Yeah. And the other guy goes, man, why don't you just kill him? Like,
and we've seen that in the comments over and over again, and people are calling each other names and yelling and stuff like that. No, I tell you what, this is kind of soon, but I want to get to this part of it, to the point where how do we fix that?
You've always heard things like look at it through my eyes type of thing.
Yeah,
but since everybody's so similar right now, what will that do?
Yeah.
You know, for the conservative who's screaming, just kill him, if they look at it through the eyes of liberal who's screaming, just kill him.
Yeah.
Well, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, what really is that going to do? I mean, I don't know.
But who are they going to kill, though? Because, I mean, it is just saying, because in a general sense of the word, if they keep screaming, just kill him.
Yeah.
Who are they going to kill?
Yeah.
Because whoever is screaming is who is screaming. Who's got the ideas?
I mean, seriously, I have no idea. I really don't know.
I don't know if this is a gone situation here, to where the best thing we have to do is to start educating the younger ones so this doesn't repeat itself. Because it's quite obvious that we have in history repeating itself constantly, and we get to this point here where stuff is about to combust,
to explode. Yeah.
I mean,
you know what I mean? I mean, okay, you showed me the video of that shootout in Salt Lake City. I mean,
I got flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's driving around town, just shooting.
Yeah,
and then, you know, I'm guessing the police forced him to wreck his truck, because the video starts with the truck in the front end of a building, and then you just hear the shots fired, and the amount of shots fired from the cops is insane. Yeah, to the point where, I mean, you even hear the people who are taking the video, you know, as they're watching the cops go up to the truck, going, man, nobody could have lived through that. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know the number of police that went over there, but boy, it sure looked like it was 50 to 100. I mean, they just kept coming, guns drawn. And I mean,
each other.
I don't know, but hopefully by their whatever angles they set up on this guy. But you're shooting at a metallic truck too. You never know about ricochets. But look, I understand that this guy was a dangerous criminal and he needs to be stopped. Now, kind of brought it on himself when he opened up on the cops. Yeah, you've got to know what's coming. Yeah, and that's probably one of those where, unfortunately, whatever for anybody who's watched Criminal Minds, I'm sure you've heard the term, what is their end game? And maybe it was suicide by a cop. I don't know, but you know, you have, the whole thing with the right to bear arms. You have the people who own guns, who are truly responsible with them. Keep them locked up. Maybe they just go hunting. If they go to just shoot, they go to a gun range, you know, whatever. Otherwise, that's it. Yeah. And They will protect themselves if somebody tries to invade their home.
Yeah.
And then you have others where it's, I got this. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I see a lot of that
And
myself.
I'm angry. So guess what? I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. And I'm going to shoot you.
I think the big task is to get people to dial back and see what they're doing. And hopefully when they see how they react to situations, they'll stop and think logically before they make a judgment, before they do an action or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only solution I see here. But that is so hard to do. Because
Well,
even when that situation happened here with the Egyptian guy and the girl screaming that he was trying to kidnap a baby, before they even get any kind of a confirmation or anything, conservatives start using that. The conservatives that I have on my page start using that to prove that foreigners are evil and that people have to bear arms to protect themselves from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what they started to
And
push.
then the security video comes out.
and
it wasn't even near.
Yeah. No. Which is, of course, the liberals didn't say anything at first. But once it comes out that she lied, the liberals come in and crucify that woman.
Yes.
Crucify her. She is an evil, evil, evil person. And the conservatives joined with them and said, yes, she needs to be punished. You know what I mean? And I said, listen, you know, you're trying to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, she was wrong. Yes, she needs to be punished. But there's a bigger issue at hand to look at.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't even trying to hear it.
No.
They didn't even want to. They're not even addressing the problem. Which kind of makes me believe that even liberals don't really want to sit down and discuss racism or anything like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well,
they just want to argue.
There are certain white liberals who basically would make it want to seem like they are also
A brother?
Yeah.
A sister?
Yeah. I understand your struggle. Shut up. You grew in a rich house.
I
You know, or something like that.
And you always screaming white privilege, but then you want to tell me you know how I feel.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
want to know how I feel? You know?
We've known some people like that.
Dude, I worked with people like that. I had a girl with the oh man, what is that guy with the was it in Florida where the dude shot that kid? And this dude is always in the news. I can't even remember the name. Trayvon Martin.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I was saying
yeah,
something.
the guy who did the who did the
Again,
shooting.
I was
yeah.
like, there's an underlying problem
Zimmerman.
here. Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
there's an underlying problem here that we have to fix. And this liberal chick went off on me. Oh, you know, you black, you should understand. I said, yeah, I'm black and I do understand. You forgot I'm black. No, you telling me that I'm wrong to have an opinion about this.
I still like the professor who wanted to tell you what it was like to grow up in Grenada during all that, whatever that
during
was.
the invasion and stuff like you
Yeah.
understand, and that's those
It's like,
type of
meanwhile, you're going, excuse me, I actually went through it.
yeah, those type of liberals are dangerous.
They are.
You
They
know what I
are.
mean?
They really are.
And she took me to the office. I went to her office for something. She was a sociology professor, and she's like, and I can't remember the guy's name, so I'm gonna just use her name. That's my friend Ubuntu.
Mhm.
You know, he died in the struggle. And in my mind, I'm like, you're still alive. You don't understand his struggle.
Mhm.
Listen, you could tell me all you want. This is kind of bad. And I'm going to break it down nicely here, too. You could tell me all you want, culturally speaking, how it is to be white, and I will never know how it feels to be white.
Mhm.
And vice versa. Now, here's how we could break that down and make it a nice, cohesive thing
Okay.
for everybody. Instead of trying to understand somebody instead of breaking it down black and white, break it down human.
Mhm.
This is how we similar.
Mhm.
I think that is going to be
Hey, we've already shown one way how liberals and conservatives have been similar,
Exactly.
whether they realize it or not.
yeah. You know what I mean? If we break it down and show people the good of how similar they are,
Yeah.
and the point that they're all looking for the same thing, but they're looking for it with different ideologies instead of as human beings together.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like last night I was talking to my friend who I probably want him as a guest on the show when we have time to do it. His name is Keon Finley. Really, 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 really cool dude.
All right.
We have this cool. And last night we were talking and I was telling him is that nothing is going to get done because nobody wants to do anything because they're all sitting waiting for the great savior, and I'm not talking about Jesus, a great savior to come and save them politically or culturally, which is the mindset from religions. Religions are always looking for the great person to come back and save them, and nobody's doing anything, and they think they're doing something, and they're arguing, so they're not really doing anything or solving anything, and hoping somebody's going to come, and instead of working together to try to fix it among ourselves, we're waiting for somebody to come and say, well, this is how you do it. And
Well,
then
and
everybody's
that's-
going to home, shanty home, and then 2 weeks later they're shooting him.
Exactly. Well, and that's also how dangerous cult leaders
Yeah,
come up too, is because
Yeah.
they realize, hey, everybody's looking for something. Psh,
Yeah.
follow me.
yeah.
You
know,
know.
what you should be looking for is your fellow man to help and be compassionate with. That's what you should be looking for. You shouldn't be looking for somebody to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
You're human. You know how to do it. You know it's wrong to kill somebody because you know how it is to felt when your grandmother died or your sister died. You know what I mean? You know how it is when you have kids and they go hungry. So does the other guy, even if he's black, Arab, white, whatever he is. He knows how that feels.
Yeah.
The problem is not we don't feel the same. The problem is we have these ideologies and religions telling us how to handle it, how to fix it. But they're going from an ethnocentric view, their worldview, instead of going from a human perspective.
Well, the thing is, they all generally have good ideas.
Yeah,
It's just when people get involved
yeah,
that they can bastardize
yeah,
the way it's said, interpreted, whatever it is.
yeah.
You know, and then that's what turns into then the violent side.
And look at something here too. This is another point here to make solidify what we're saying. Right now, Notre Dame burned down. I see conservatives.
Cathedral in France, for
Yeah.
those of you who may not know. Yeah.
I see conservatives and liberals. Oh, a horrible day for history. A horrible day for history. Now, hey, horrible. I get it. Now, where is that cohesiveness when you see the Yemeni, the kids in Yemen, Yemeni kids are getting 84,000? Where is that cohesive outcry? Why is that not absolutely horrible? So that the Facebook pages are filled with that's happening, and not just there. I mean, we have stuff happening in Kosovo still. We have stuff happening all over the world here in black, white, Indian, Asian, any kind of a society. It's happening right now. Where is the cohesive outcry about that? I saw more posts about the cathedral burning down on my Facebook page in one day than I've seen anybody complaining about kids being bombed. And not just, and you see, and here's the thing. Whenever I say that, people think I'm going anti-American. No. I'm talking about in Africa where they're
Well,
terrorizing
you're also
kids.
talking about a cathedral in France that burned, too.
Yeah.
Like, how is that anti-American?
And the thing
And
about
I mean, at one point we had some politicians trying to tell us that France weren't our friends, so
Yeah.
let's call them freedom fries and freedom toast.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
and this stuff is worldwide, you know what I mean? But people pick out, instead of trying to find a solution, they will pick out the one thing that seems to be criticizing them and then go with it and say, you hate us, you know what I mean?
Well, it's like, why do people love, Paris so much? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, if Hillary would have won, like, wait, what?
The thing about that too is everybody complaining about Catholics, and now all the people who are complaining about Catholics here, they are, you poor Catholics.
we stand with you.
We sympathize.
We still don't believe you're
Yeah.
Christian, but we'll stand with you.
We still don't believe you're Christian.
That's
but,
what I said.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We love you, my brothers and my sisters. You know what I mean? And then,
But if you come to our church, we'll make you sit in the
yeah,
corner.
you know what I mean. And if you would dare to say that your cathedral is better than our church, we hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, 800 years, you know what I mean? Well, man has been around for millions, if scientists are right, billions of years. You ain't showing no sympathy for that.
No, they haven't.
For human
I
beings.
haven't heard man's been around for billions, but
Yeah,
definitely at least hundreds of thousands. But
I've heard millions.
the planet's been around for billions.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
yeah,
but
the
still.
planet. My bag.
Yeah.
I'm a flat earther or something.
People have really been around all that time. What are you talking about?
I can't say that.
They've been
You know
hiding
what I mean?
underground.
Because that means I'll be bullying flat earthers if I say that.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so here we have human beings have been around longer than 800 years.
Yeah.
And we keep repeating ourselves by having genocide on each other, and nobody's making a compilation of outcries. I'm running out of words to describe this thing now, to say this have to stop. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it wouldn't happen again,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't happen with the amount of frequency that it is happening now.
Well, and not just that, but this is going to sound kind of weird, but obviously way back it was easier to try and get away with something like that because there wasn't the international news flow that there is now. And so it would take a lot longer to, like, okay, America over on this side of the world, being friends with people on the other side of the world. Now, obviously, it would have taken a lot longer for us to find out about something like that happening on the other side of the world. But now you can find out about it like that.
Yeah,
Google
it.
Like that. I mean, it can come to you that fast. But people are still doing these things.
And here's an example of that. I remember back in the 70s, we in my country, we had Syrian refugees come there. I have friends who are descendants of Syrians. We had Lebanese refugees, right? Which lead into the 80s with what's happening in South and Central America right now with Venezuela. This stuff happened back in the 80s, guys. This is not anything new. And back then, end of the world, you know what I mean? And it's 2019 and it's happening again. End of the world. Fix the stuff.
Yeah.
Let's try not to let it happen again. Instead of that, you're sitting there waiting for stuff to happen and you keep screaming end of the world, and it keeps happening over and over and over. And nobody's fixing anything because everybody's going, well, that's communism, that's socialism, that's capitalism.
And that's your fault. That's not my fault. That's your fault. I mean, heck, we
game.
already have everybody who wants to blame their own faults on everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault I'm sniffling right now. It's my allergies.
And if you bring it up, and if you notice when I do post on Facebook, which I'm not going to do anymore, you want to find out what I say about stuff, you download the podcast. I'm not giving any more freebies. But anyway.
Well, that's because it seems like people don't even understand with what you're posting. I don't know.
They understand. They just want to argue.
Well, and that's the dumb part. Everybody always wants to say, "Well, let me play devil's advocate." No. Let's stop doing that.
Yeah,
okay?
let's see how what he says. Let me put my 2 cents in.
Yeah.
That could solve or cause a resolution to something, not to cause chaos.
Yeah.
People think that is being intellectual these days.
Oh, well, yeah, because remember, debating is no longer discussing. Like you and I just sitting here
you
talking.
Gotta destroy.
No, Debating is yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's obvious that we don't have to do that because, me and you, we're from different total cultures. Granted, we were victimized by the same religion. Which is ironic here.
It was, yeah. We grew up
Catholic,
well over 1,000 miles apart, and yet, man.
Well, yeah, we've been tainted by the same religious doctrine.
Oh man,
Catholics are going, oh please, no.
Hey, look. I will say this, okay? I have been to a few different churches, and unfortunately, I have seen the same thing in each one. I have seen. And I am not saying I am perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I have seen the hypocrisy in several different. I'm not saying, okay, I've been to one Catholic church and then another Catholic and another Catholic. No. Catholic, non-denominational, Church of Christ, Methodist, Baptist. I mean, I've been to several. And you see these people come into church and act like they are perfect human beings because they are going to church every time that they're supposed to. But yet, when we walk out of here, we're going to treat people exactly how we want to treat them.
Yeah.
Not treat people, love one another as I have loved you type of thing. No. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Because I go to this church all the time. You only just showed up.
Yeah.
So you're a peon.
Yeah.
I can talk to you however I want to.
Yeah.
Or even to each other in this church. I'm from a better neighborhood than you are. So guess who's better?
Yeah. You sit back there. We sit up here.
When I grew up in the Catholic Church at home in Virginia, a lot of the people who went there were from a really rich neighborhood. And since I didn't live there, I got looked down on pretty badly.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we didn't grow up poor, and I felt like we were in a pretty decent neighborhood.
Yeah.
But yet, okay, yeah, we're not in these, beautiful stone mansions and things like that. And but oh man, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I mean, I got looked down on.
Yeah.
Horribly. And and I was so glad that I didn't have to go to regular school with these people because they lived in a different section of the county, so we didn't go to school together. But I did not look forward to going to these Catholic classes that I went to every Saturday morning for a while until I was 13 and went through, confirmation, right? Yeah. I did not look forward to those whatsoever.
Yeah.
Dreaded them.
Now, you went to public school.
Yes.
Now, check out the indoctrination that I had to go through, the colonialization. I went to a Catholic primary school, which I guess would be like middle school here.
Well, I mean, it's
You know what I mean?
you can have private schools that will go all the way through elementary through high school.
Well, no, it wasn't a private school. Where I'm from, the
well,
church schools are the public schools.
Okay, well, see here, the church schools are the
Yeah.
private schools that can go from kindergarten all the
Yeah.
way through high school.
Yeah, but that's why I said it's colonization.
Yeah.
Because, I went to a Catholic school for 7 years. Then when I finished with the Catholic school, I went to a Methodist school for 4 years.
Oh, boy.
And then when I decided I want a scholarship, I went to a Southern Baptist college.
Yeah, you did. Little did you know.
Think about it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just got, everyone had a different doctrine, except the Methodists and the Catholics where I'm from were kind of similar. I think the Methodists was a lot more laid back than the Catholics because they didn't speak.
I'll agree. I'll agree with that.
You know what I mean? But,
I'll agree with
but
that.
yeah, you know what I mean? And to be fair to the Methodists, they didn't try to shove their stuff down my throat. They didn't try to make me go to church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Granted, some of my classes were held in the church, but they didn't really preach at us. You know what I mean? So to me, that's kind of like colonization, especially. No, I did go to the Southern Baptist College here, but in my country, I went to the Catholic and the Methodist. Okay, and then there was a little bit of Anglican vibe going on there too. They were like, Pierre, you better be like me. You know what I mean?
Well, and remember, man, sorry, folks. Remember that one guy that used to periodically come over here at the radio station who said that, what was it? He was saying that America needs to invade these countries and teach them democracy.
The frat boy.
Yeah. Frat boy. Go figure, saying something like that, thinking that he's in control of everything. Go figure.
That was the beginning of that kind of a mentality where we have comments like this on there. You know what I mean?
Well, social media makes it so much easier because, like you said, the one guy who said that they would have dragged them behind their truck and made them taste the cement or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if they don't actually have the, I hate to say, guts to carry that out themselves, it's so much easier to sit behind a keyboard and go, send.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know this is from a sports angle, but Herman Edwards always used to say, you have to think before you post. He'd always say, don't press send. That was his thing. He said, don't press send.
Yeah.
But too many people, it's just, hey, it's on my mind now.
Yeah.
Send.
I don't care what you think. You know what I mean?
Send. And I want, and we keep finding out, people want to keep bringing up posts from years ago, whether they're athletes, celebrities, people trying to run for office. Like, hey, you posted this back when you were 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many of them do look back and go, wow, that was really stupid. Why did I say that?
Yeah.
And it's all because it was in my head.
Yeah.
And I have to say what's in my head right now.
Yeah.
I can't hold it in. I gotta,
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, though.
It's easy to hide behind a keyboard or your phone.
I've said some really off-colored stuff on the radio.
Yes.
And that could come back and haunt me.
Yeah. Could come back and get me too.
No, the point is when the time comes, do I double down, or do I just, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'll apologize. Because the point of getting older is just growing and understanding stuff.
Yeah, and for some of it, okay, some of the things that obviously you've seen somebody apologize for, it's like, you probably should apologize for that. but on other angles, somebody wants to always try and take something and make it sound worse than what it really is.
Like my post about the Game of Thrones.
That was funny.
you know what I mean? And that's what caused the whole thing.
Yeah, and somebody wants to say, "Oh, you want to throw us all under the same blanket?"
Somebody was like, "You are degrading a whole group of people."
Yeah.
Now the reason why, and I even put that in the post, I noticed a meme that come up.
Yeah.
Where the Game of Thrones people are saying that they're going to delete you if you just say that you've never watched it. I don't care if you don't watch it. This is they are on the attack, telling you that you're nobody. I'm not going to listen to you. So then I thought it was funny that they did that. So I ha-ha'd it, and then I made my own post saying boo hoo hoo, I'll delete you, boo hoo hoo this. And then I get jumped on because I'm bullying them when they started out by attacking people before anybody said anything.
But you weren't okay. You called them whiners, but you didn't. But I would say you exactly bullied them because you didn't say, "Come at me with that, and I will knock you down into nothing." You know,
which is basically
you
what they
you
were
were
saying.
making fun of the point that they were saying, "I'm going to delete you if you've never watched this."
Yeah,
you know, you didn't come back at it with a violent angle or anything like that. And you know what? I've seen some people too where it's, look, I have never watched the show. I don't know if I will ever watch the show because of certain people that I will call Game of Thrones snobs, because they want to now act like they're better than me because they've watched it.
Yeah.
It's one of those where like, oh, you've never watched it? Well, then you wouldn't understand this. Or, well, you wouldn't get this because you're just a whatever. I'm like, dude, it's a show. It is a show.
But check this
Get
out.
over yourself.
But check this out. Liberals love that show.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole lot of... look, okay, hang on. I'm gonna put this out there just as a joke, but whatever. Because people have not disagreed with me when I've said this. Whenever somebody has said, okay, we got into a little bit of a discussion on the bus on this last road trip because a few of the staff members watch Game of Thrones and 2 of us staff members do not. And I will say us because I'm one of them who does not. The other staff member said, what is the premise of the show? And I said, a thinly veiled pornography with violence. And the ones who watched it, they went, yes, but. I'm like, there you go.
This one is even a kicker because I have never seen the show. So I asked somebody what it was about, and one woman says I cannot watch it because there's, I guess in the earlier episodes there's a lot of rape scenes.
There's
and it was
also,
a dude,
I think, some incest stuff.
Yeah, it's a dude raping a sister.
Yes.
But here are the liberals. You understand what they're saying? They lie it. They lie it. You know what I mean? And then when
but that dude who got caught raping 100, he must be a Trump fan.
Exactly.
Maybe he's a Game of Thrones.
You know what I mean? Boy, we're gonna lose a lot of listeners. Boy, the liberals gonna say, "Wait, I thought they were liberal." Nah, we down the middle.
Exactly.
If you've been listening to us for years on the radio, you know, and the people who are just listening to us on the podcast. Just keep listening.
But that's another thing. People only want to hear what they want to hear. So, okay, if they're conservative and they like us, they'll like us as long as we continue to make fun of the liberals. But the second we make fun of the conservatives, oh no, how dare you?
Yeah.
And then flip side, as long the liberals will love us as long as we keep making fun of the conservatives. But then the second we come back on the liberals, how dare you?
We're gonna do our thing. Y'all could kiss the bum.
You all are open game.
Here's one where a liberal went off.
All right.
Last one because we were running along there, but it's all good and thing.
But the Rudebuoyz rant.
Check this out. This is the post. Okay. Many popular products on Amazon are boosted by fake what do they call it? Fake rankings.
Oh,
you know what
okay.
I mean?
Like people just basically doing like giving it 5
reviews,
stars and
you know
stuff
what
like.
I mean?
Okay,
and it says that an investigation finds that that's happening. Here's the response: fake rankings, fake supporters, fake news all in support of fake billionaire like Trump.
Wow. They turned that into a Trump thing.
Yep.
Wow.
They're talking about
Isn't
the
it
fake reviews on Amazon, the supposed, the alleged
Yeah.
fake reviews on Amazon, and all of a sudden Trump.
Yeah. It's all his fault. Well, we went through this with 8 years with Obama. Remember, anything was his fault, and now everything is Trump's fault.
Because racism is Obama's fault.
Yeah.
Obama was president in 1986 when people were screaming the N-word.
Yeah.
That's his fault. They know he was coming.
Yeah.
Well, I guess some of them did. They went to, they spoke to they heard a voice in the head tell them it was coming.
No, they watched Back to the Future.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Tried to make their own DeLorean.
Were there any black people in Back to the Future movie?
Man, I haven't seen it in a while.
If there was, there weren't very many of them.
No.
So how are they going to know? Because they didn't have Because if you go back to the future, there's less black people in the future than there was.
Well, remember, originally they went to the past, and then they had to come back to the...
I know, but...
and then the second movie, they did go to the future, and then the third, they went way back into the 1800s, but...
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's up with that? You go back into the future, you go back to the past, and there's very little black people. Then you go into the future, there's very little black people. That's like watching Friends.
Oh, that'll make my sister mad.
Hello, Jennifer.
That's another show I never got into, but...
Well, yeah, man, I think the solution is we have to scale back. Because if we don't, it's going to get to the point where
the
we're also angry.
The hatred is breeding more hatred because... Yeah. Okay, let's just say I'm a conservative who's tried to be quiet. But I keep seeing liberals scream this and scream this and scream this and scream that. It might finally get to the point where I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So now I'm the one who's screaming this and screaming that. And then also on the flip side, I'm a liberal who's trying to keep quiet and not say anything. But I'm getting sick and tired of hearing the conservatives scream this and scream this and scream this to the point where I now scream this.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately you have people who get past the point of I'm going to scream to I'm going to act out in violence.
Yeah. You see, and here's how I do it. And this is how I do it. I watch Fox. I watch, there's a group of people called the Home of the Progressive, TYT.
The Young Turks.
The Young Turks.
Yeah,
I watch them. And there are times when I watch either of them, I have to turn it and say, no, I can't watch this. This is
too much.
Yeah, this is just too much. I can't watch either of them. You know what I mean?
Man.
But you see, you have to go to either of them and then decipher what the truth is. You know what I mean? And granted, the progressive, they have a lot of the ideas that I kind of ride along with.
Yeah.
And I've watched some of Fox News and go, well, that makes sense. You know what I mean? But if I have a lot of liberal friends, but I guess I have a mixed match of friends.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in the middle. I don't know who to talk to. Because if I say something, a conservative will, what are you doing, man? You immigrant, shut up. You know what I mean? And if I talk to the liberal, what do you mean? What are you? You're a Trump supporter now?
Yeah. And I know your struggle better than you do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why we have to scale back and listen. Listen to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
people seriously open up your eyes too, because you will see the same hatred coming from both sides.
Oh yeah,
the vile disgustingness that is coming from both sides.
Man.
If you sit back and you watch it, you will see it. And you will see liberals who don't want anything with guns, but yet they will say, "Okay, this conservative needs to die," and then I mean, it's just.
Scale back
sorry,
a bit. Watch what you're doing. Because, then you become part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Exactly.
You understand? And I don't think that the majority is the ones that are doing that, because when you go back on some of the comments, especially I look at CNN.
Yeah.
I even have
a majority of the comments will end up actually being very good.
Yeah.
But
they filter them out.
Yeah, but it's unfortunately the ones that,
And check this out. If you don't like CNN or you don't like Fox, don't go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you running in there and yelling and screaming, you are helping them by being on there, because then the advertisers are coming, because the advertisers see there's so many people. The advertisers ain't going, these people are, a lot of them, they're not going, these are liberal, these are conservative.
Yeah.
They're just going, these are money.
You're giving views.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. You are giving views. You know,
yeah.
look,
and the
I
views bring advertisements, which brings money.
Exactly. I hear from my boss all the time, don't feed the trolls, because especially, you know, with the job that we do in collegiate athletics, you'll get a whole lot of nasty, ugly comments from people if a team loses. And it's always, don't feed the trolls, don't respond to it. Well, there's a certain person on the internet that he keeps watching all the time. And I'm not even going to mention who this person is, because they're not worth my time, because I don't watch them. And I tried telling him one time, I said, you know, you are feeding the troll, because you keep giving him more views.
Yeah.
You know, he puts up these videos on the internet spewing vile about a school, and yet you have watched it how many times now? Because you've watched it yourself.
Yeah.
And then you want to show it to somebody else, and then you want to show it to somebody else, and then you want to show it to somebody else. Well, all he sees at the end of the day is, oh, man, I got 1,500 views on this.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if 1,000 of it came from the fans of the school that he's ripping to shreds, or you sitting there laughing about it, saying, man, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
All he sees are the views and thinks, I'm popular.
Yeah. No,
I'm
going to
keep doing
my
this.
Facebook.
No, this is on Twitter.
Yeah, well, you can monetize Twitter too,
but I mean, but it's like, but you, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
You know what? If I don't think if I don't think I'm gonna like watch, if I don't, let me try that again. Take two. If I don't think I'm going to like watching Game of Thrones, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
If there's a certain movie I don't think I'm going to like, I'm not going to watch it.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of cartoons, so I don't go sit and watch cartoons all day.
I don't care for First Take on ESPN, so I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, every once in a while I catch clips when they want to put those in between watching Golic and Wingo.
Yeah.
But I don't like it, so I don't watch it.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what that. Okay.
If I don't like a certain team, I don't watch that certain team.
That's what I try to tell people about my Facebook page. If you disagree with me, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't come on my page and start acting stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't go on, if I see somebody put up something that I disagree with on their page, I don't go on their page and tell them, you know what I mean, and go off like that.
Yeah.
I might put up a post about it on my page.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go on their page, because that's what freedom of speech really is. He's free to say what he wants on his platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not my place to go, because especially since none of us have power anyway.
Yeah. We all think we do, because
You know
social
what I
media.
mean?
We have all these followers who want to
You know?
what I'm thinking every moment of the day.
So coming on my page and going on somebody else's page and berating them is not going to change anything.
No.
Because we have no power
Yeah.
to make that. Well, we have the power, but we're too busy fighting against each other to use that power.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to just leave it at that there. You
All
understand
right.
what I'm saying? And take
It's
it
the
on.
Rudebuoyz rant.
Well, remember, we're on iTunes and all these other platforms. Go check us out. Download. You know what I mean?
Remember, if you comment and if you disagree, figure out a way to do it without being laced with George Carlin's 7 dirty words.
Yeah.
You know, think of a way to be able to say it without just calling us names.
That way we could go, that makes sense.
Yes.
So how we could, we on the
The
right page.
easiest way to get ignored is just go bleep, 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 bleep.
You know what I mean? Because you ain't have nothing to contribute.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so go there and rank us. Definitely rank us. Leave comments. And subscribe to it on iTunes, and of course you could go to notice we're on Blueberry too now. I think we're on iHeart, we're on Stitcher, we're on Spotify.
We're all over the place.
We're all over the place. Go check it out and thing. You know what I mean? Subscribe. I kind of we want to get this going. We also want to make it more international than it is, so that I don't know. It's not egotistical of me or Scotland here to think that we have ideas that might help the situation, because that's how we're going to solve it. We, the people, have to put forth our ideas and hash through it, not fight through it.
Yes.
Hash through it to come to a resolution. Yes. You know what I mean? We don't want to. We're not going to bring guests on the show that we're going to argue. We're going to sit there and listen to them, because somewhere within what they're saying is going. We don't care if the guest is going to be a conservative or there's not going to be any arguing on here. We're going to listen to them, and we're not going to rebut them. Here is what they're saying. You sit down and analyze what they say, what the next side say, and see what you think is going to help humanity. That's what we all about to Tig. You know what I mean? So go ahead and give us a listen to. You're going to love it. Because there's a little bit of humor and thing in the mix there and all of that. You know what I mean? And remember, don't let that system get you all down.
That's right.
Yeah, I ain't blaming the system, but don't let it get you down.
It's the Rudebuoyz. We're out of here.